Hello. Welcome to the Galactic Core podcast. My name is Andy, the host, as you probably should know by now, to be fair, if you tune into the show. I am here for the next 9 days straight, as we are going to be getting into reactions and reviews of Marvel's What If Season 3. But first of all, of course, if you aren't following or you don't know where to find the Galactic Core podcast, you can find me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, other podcast places, obviously YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. I do have a Facebook as well. So make sure you're jumping over, you're giving us a like, you're giving us a follow, because as I said, I'm here for the next 9 days straight, giving my reactions to each episode of Marvel's What If. Also, we are in the middle of Star Wars' brand new show, Skeleton Crew. I am doing a collaboration with Clan Brandalorian every single week to react and review to the episode every Wednesday. So make sure you're tuning into that. Obviously, this week coming, I'm not going to be here on a Wednesday. We're going to be here on Boxing Day because Wednesday is Christmas Day. So we decided to spend that day with our fams. So make sure you're tuning in from now until the end of the series of Skeleton Crew every Wednesday for a live episode with me and Clan Brandalorian reacting to Skeleton Crew. But we are here to be chatting about Marvel's Season 3 of What If. So I'm actually quite a big fan of the What If show. I obviously love the scenario of it, that you can make anything. Start of Season 3, the final season that we're getting of this show. It looks like it could be a really good season. Season 1, to me, was really, really good. I did really enjoy it. Season 2, maybe not so much. It does obviously have potential, but definitely Season 1 so far has been the better out of the two of them. But Season 3, it looks like we've got some really, really good episodes lined up. So today we've had Episode 1, What If the Hulk Fought the Mech Avengers. I'm just going to run through the other ones quickly and just sort of see which ones I'm really looking forward to. So tomorrow we got What If Agatha Went to Hollywood. Probably not going to be that fussed about that one, to be honest. It'll be interesting to see how it goes down, especially since we've got, obviously, a lot of the voice actors do return. So we've got, obviously, Catherine Hahn as Agatha. Kingo from Eternals comes back. Howard Stark. And Edwin Jarvis return as well. So that's going to be interesting. Day after that, we've got What If the Red Guardian Stopped the Winter Soldier? So, obviously, David Harbour and Sebastian Stan returning as the Red Guardian and the Winter Soldier. Bill Foster is coming as well, so that's going to be interesting. We haven't really seen him since Ant-Man 2, so that's going to be an interesting one, I think. We have seen a couple of clips as well of that. So episode 4, very random one. What if Howard the Duck got hitched? So Darcy is returning. Also, obviously, Howard the Duck, Nick Fury, Loki, and Yondu are all returning. So actually, it's quite a good little cast for that particular episode. So it's going to be a random episode, but I'm actually quite looking forward to the cast list of that one. After that, episode 5, we got What If the Emergence Destroyed the Earth? So this is obviously the Eternals and the Celestials. But we've got Ironheart, and we've got Mysterio, Sharon Carter, Valkyrie, and Arishem. Some of the, obviously, the big characters coming in for that episode. So that's, I think, is going to actually be a really, really interesting episode. Super excited to get that one. Episode 6, we've got What If 1872. So obviously, I think from the clips we've seen from the trailers, that's going to be like a cowboy Western style episode. We've got Shang-Chi, Kate Bishop, John Walker as the sort of main characters popping up in that one. That's going to be an interesting one. I'm not much of a cowboy sort of like a Wild West fan myself, but we're going to have to wait and see how that one drops down. So then the last 2 episodes look really interesting. So episode 7, What If the Watcher Disappeared? So in this one, we have Hayley Atwell returning as Captain Carter. We got Kahori from that original character from season 2's returning. We've got Storm as the goddess of thunder. That's obviously going to be really interesting. So we're going to have to really see what does happen in that one. But I think that is going to be a really, really interesting episode. And then season 8. So the finale to all of this is What If, What If? So it says on this one that we're getting Captain Carter, Jason Isaacs as the Eminence. We've got Kahori, Storm, the Goddess of Thunder, as well as a few others that appear in the episode before. So it looks like it kind of ties in together. So that I am actually really excited for as well. So it looks like it's almost like a two-parter finale to this series and see what happens. So, yep, I am super excited to jump into all these episodes. So I'm just going to be doing a quick sort of 5-10 minute every day video just to react to it and just to give some thoughts on it. So, but today, episode 1, what if Hulk fought the Mech Avengers? So this was an interesting one. It was clearly giving off some definite sort of Power Rangers, Voltron, Pacific Rim, Godzilla vibes, absolutely for sure. So, I mean, in an attempt to rid himself of the Hulk once and for all, Bruce Banner accidentally bombards himself with so much gamma radiation, it births a monstrous creature known as the Apex. Basically, he's like a ramping kaiju. So, like the original Avengers get get their obviously mech suits made for them, and they sort of fall, and we're left with this crew of Sam Wilson, Monica Rambeau, Bucky Barnes, Moon Knight, Red Guardian, Shang-Chi, Nakia, and Melina Vostokov. So this is the team that's left after the original Avengers fell, and obviously in this episode, the Apex comes back with even more of its monsters to try and take over the world. And they try and get Bruce back as well to fight, and he doesn't want to do it, but he gives them something called the Mighty Avenger Protocol, which basically combines them all to make one giant Power Zord. Mech Avenger. And from there, obviously, they try and fight the Apex. Doesn't quite work, and so Banner shows back up. And with a gamma bomb and becomes basically Godzilla, a mega Hulk. Fights the Apex, takes him down, takes over his army, and Sam reminds him of his friendship and promises that will never change, leading Banner to remember about their friendship and basically go back to his little island with all the monsters and basically isolate themselves there. So definitely an interesting episode to start with. I was hoping for a bit more when it says, if Hulk fought the Mech Avengers. In terms of what we got from this episode, you want to see the Hulk go up against them. So, again, maybe a slightly misleading title. You can say that the Apex Gamma Beast is obviously a version of the Hulk in a way. But, it's birthing creatures from this gamma radiation stuff on its shoulders, almost like when a gremlin gets wet in a way. It just pops off of its shoulders and creates a new one. But yeah, it was definitely like inspired by a lot of other shows, like we said, Power Rangers, Voltron, Pacific Rim, Godzilla. Definitely gave off a lot of that vibes. Not too many real Easter eggs in here, to be fair, as well. The cartoon at the start was almost like an 80s inspired cartoon. Tony Stark's long hair, maybe sort of a nod to the original 1994 Iron Man cartoon. Obviously, little bits here and there, the on your left sort of scenario from Sam Wilson, the fishing boat that we see from Falcon and Winter Soldier. Red Guardian's comment about going for the head, obviously, sort of a callback to Thor and Thanos. The Astra Islands in the original Marvel comics was the islands where Bruce Banner built his nuclear absorbatron. So that was a nice callback to that as well, having him a little base over there. Obviously, Mighty Avenger forming a Megazord, that was interesting and amusing, to be fair. I didn't really think, obviously, those mechs would have been designed to combine like that properly. But, when you're taking the inspirations of Power Rangers, Voltron, Pacific Rim, Godzilla, that sort of stuff, you're going to have a bit of fun with it. And I thought that's what this episode was at the end of the day. You had this overwhelming, obviously, theme that you're not alone and you've got friends to help you deal with stuff if you need it, which, it's nice to have an underlying, I guess, message like that you're not alone. But at the end of the day, this was very much a callback, I think, to shows gone past and a bit of fun. So, Mega Hulk at the end of the day is the MCU's Godzilla now, in terms of this universe anyway. So it was cool. It was interesting. I definitely a little bit disappointed that we didn't get to see maybe a little bit more of the original Avengers fighting. I know it was kind of done as an overlay and then a quick sort of recap, but it would have been nice to see a bit more of that. the Megazord of the Avengers got taken out by the Apex pretty quickly as well, to be fair. They did well against the other beasts, but going up against the big man himself, they didn't really do anything. And then we did really get to see a Hulk versus Mech Avengers fight in a way, if you're talking about original Bruce Banner Hulk. So that in itself is a little bit disappointing. I really did want to see. I was just thought it might have been an episode of like going off the title before we get to see it, was that the Hulk was just going to be on a rampage and the Avengers are calling to take him down and they can't, and so they build mechs to try and do it. So it definitely gave off more Pacific Rim Godzilla vibes to me than anything else, and a little bit disappointed we didn't get to see a proper Hulk versus Avengers showdown, especially when they talk in the episode about having to build bigger Hulkbusters to deal with the situation. But at the end of the day, not the worst episode to kick everything off with. I do have really high hopes for some of these episodes coming up this series. As I already mentioned going through it, the emergence destroyed the Earth. What if the Watcher disappeared? And what if are probably the biggest ones I'm looking out for. So that's pretty much it. Just wanted to have a quick recap of the first episode. As I said, I'm going to be here every day just to review that day's episode. So make sure you join me tomorrow to be able to review the next episode, which is What If Agatha Went to Hollywood? In the meantime, as I mentioned before, you can absolutely follow the Galactic Court podcast across YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. You can find the show itself on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, loads of other podcast places, and you can always get the videos on YouTube as well. So make sure you're tuning in for that. But I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, catch you later.
Thanks for tuning in to the Galactic Core Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. But until next time, go get your geek on.